Good evening, everyone. It's me again, Al Brown Spencer. Today is Thursday, the 29th of April 2021, and it's almost 6 o'clock in the evening. And I am just updating everyone about the situation. And just to let you know, the situation is still the same. It is just getting worse in terms of, the retaliation from, you know, authorities and other stuff that they do undetectably, and the dosing is still going on, hasn't stopped, and my privacy and freedom are still violated, and my human rights are not protected. It's a long story. However, I would like to thank everyone who stopped to ask about the problem when I'm protesting in Bournemouth Square holding the sign, and I will be uploading videos of me protesting in Bournemouth Square, holding the sign and so on. The other thing as well, I would like to thank the lady who stopped yesterday and gave me a hug. That was really, really nice. I appreciate this. And who came today to record the video regarding my problem and to post it on her Facebook and so on. That's really, really helpful. And everyone who took a photo to post it on their Facebook, to share it with their friends, that is really, really kind of you and nice, and thank you very much, and very, very helpful. And I would like you to know that with your support, I will defeat these bastards, these arrogant bastards in the high authorities, and I will get my compensations and make sure that they are exposed and punished in a fair trial in the court of law. And just to let you know, by helping achieving justice in my case, you are actually helping yourself as well, because I promise you, you must believe me when I say that people like this, when they get to the authority or have authorities, they misuse it and literally use and abuse people based on their assumption, presumption, or jumping to conclusion, or their own personal judgment and so on. These are the people that you yourself could fall a victim to the injustice that they could put or lay upon you for any reason. So by doing this, you're actually not just helping me to achieve justice so I can get my rights and compensations and peace of mind and protect the future, but also you're protecting yourself from falling a victim to these people. People in the authority should be elite. And when I say elite, they should be the best. And I'm not talking about education or financially or whatever. I'm talking about how they perceive and how their prospect of justice and people. If they believe that they can harm people, they are not the right people in their positions. People in the authorities, they must believe and understand that harming people is not okay, and abusing or using or torturing or violating anyone's rights is not okay. uh, the other thing that I would like to say, that people who try to help genuinely because they want to help, these are the people that actually will stay by my side to the end because they are into it with their heart and mind. Other people who just try to help for the sake of being, showed that or called that they are helping, I still would like to thank you. However, when it's the time, when the tide gets high and it gets rough down the line, especially after the first initial case and so on, uh, I'm sure these people will find it difficult to carry on, and basically they will, in another word, will just row back to the shore. I'm just giving this analogy because this is exactly how it's gonna be. It's gonna be like a big wave, and when I say big wave, it will. Seriously, I mean this case is so complicated. Lots of high authorities involved in it, and I promise you, lots of people in the authorities here in the UK at least will be in jail and behind bars for lots of misconduct, use, abuse, torture, and even lives lost. And I will give more details about this later. I already have experienced the first nudge, and again, it's normal. No one can point their finger to prove that the authorities are, you know, involved. However, there is something now going on about my housing benefits from Universal Credit, and I already have messages, and I'm going to record this. I'm going to take photos and print it and so on. And every person addressing me in the Universal Credit web page will be identified in person and will be named and shamed in any kind of misconduct or any kind of, deliberate mistake and so on. The reason I'm saying so because I received a message today saying that I owe the Universal Credit thousands of pounds because I have been overpaid since August 2020, while in fact all tenancy agreements I gave them since this time, or since I started receiving housing benefits since this time, they have the correct amount, exact amount that I used to pay for accommodation and so on, and they base the Universal Credit in total with for all over or on the cost of housing, and then they add to it the cost of living and so on. They have their own way, but anyway, I gave them all of this, and suddenly they send me, and I'm gonna show you one of I downloaded. They sent me a copy or a letter saying that I'm overpaid thousands of pounds because housing cost was seized from August 2014, which is completely incorrect. And the lady who sent me this, please, why don't you go through details and papers and documents to see that every kind of claim, whenever I changed accommodation, I gave you a tenancy agreement with how much exactly I'm paying. The only difference is since I moved in December to where I am at the moment, having been given a tenancy agreement and so on. So this can be calculated if there is any difference between the rent, but it's not like what they said. I'm gonna print out the letter, I'm gonna show it and all of this. So it is just outrageous. However, I am going to address and already sent messages which I'm gonna show it in another video. So anyway, this is like what I call, this is the nudge and all of this, but that is not gonna make any difference to my goal. My case is gonna be in the court. These bastards are going to be in jail hopefully very very soon, and I promise you, everyone made a mistake, or everyone deliberately made a mistake that led to any kind of use, abuse, torture, or my human rights were violated as a result, will pay the price, not just money but also responsibility, liability, and fair trial in the court of law, and let the court decide their fate. And the other thing as well, the first initial case that is going to be against the police, social service, and the prison department. And when I say social service, that includes the council as well. So do not get confused between that I am getting paid Universal Credit by the council here in Bournemouth or Dorset, and there will be a case against the council in Berkshire for what was done, and statements from social workers, council, blah blah blah, and all of this, and for other reasons that I cannot include now, and in other parts and places in the country as well. And that's mainly because of refusing to help and so on. So anyway, this case is going ahead whether they like it or not. Any kind of crippling now or putting some kind of disturbance is just distraction, that's all. Hence this video, anyone in the housing benefits or the council or whatever, anything that you would do that will literally distract me of my focusing on this case against the authorities to be in court to get my financial compensations, get them exposed and get this public, will be considered deliberate misconduct and deliberate distraction and crippling, and will even reach illegal proceedings as well. As I don't owe the Universal Credit or the UC department any money, apart from if they calculate, for example, any difference between rent from December 2020 till April 2021, which is 4 months, which basically £20 per week or something. If they want to calculate it and deduct it later on and make it look like as an overpayment, I would understand. But to say that housing costs since August 2020 and 20 and owing you thousands of pounds and so on. This is ridiculous, and literally that made me laugh and made me gonna put it in a video with everything and everyone, with the names of the people who addressed me on the universal credit. And I promise you it's easy to identify in person, or identify the people working for the universal credit from their names and the messages and the times, and they will be named and shamed, and then we will find out what, on what basis the lady who sent me a message today saying that I owe thousands of pounds to the universal credit because of this, blah blah blah. We can dig this out and find out, on what basis she said so and sent that letter, and on what basis they ignored the tenancy agreements I gave them for every place I stayed in since I applied for housing benefits and so on. So anyway, this is another story. Let's not get this distracting me or us from the main case. I am in Bournemouth Square every day, almost 12:30 to 2 hours, 2.5 hours, staying there protesting and giving leaflets. Anyone who wants to know more details can contact me either via phone, email, and if you don't get a reply via phone or email, or you cannot find my YouTube videos, please get in touch in person. I'm staying temporarily at room number 1, and this is Central Hotel, 135 West Hill Road, and that's Bournemouth BH25EG. This is a ferocious opponent, I mean the authorities, and what they are doing now is nothing. They're just nudging, blah blah blah, because that's how they are. They are arrogant. They try to nudge you first with things like that, and then they try to hit hard and so on. And I promise you, anything they will try to do will be exposed, will be public, and I will know how to basically retaliate and how to give information about things. And I'm gonna give information about things that you would never ever believe that literally they have hand on it. But I promise you, I'm just gonna give the information and knowledge, especially if the things I don't have solid proofs to it, like I have for the initial case against the inferior authorities. But I do have some evidences regarding many stuff and many things I know about these people, of what they did to me and other people and so on. And anyway, the case is still going to court. These bastards must pay the price anyway. My goals are still the same. 1, to get my financial compensations that I'm claiming from these bastards. 2, to get these bastards in the court of law, fair trial, and be punished for what they have done to me, whether a mistake or deliberate mistake, or deliberately, doesn't make any difference. Let the court decide their fate. The third thing, to make this public everywhere in the UK, Europe, and the United States, so when I move to Castellón de la Plana in Spain to restart my life and start my business that I love and all of this, I can actually have the peace of mind that there are no surveillance, no one is watching, no one is monitoring, no one is interfering in my life in any way, form, or shape. And lastly, again, if anyone asking your business and so on, this is what I'm waiting for. These bastards, wasted decades of my life based on their lies and made up allegations and keeping me under their authorities, using, abusing, and torturing me and wasting my life and destroying my life completely, and you name it. Personally, financially, physically, professionally, socially, you name it. Even my mental capacity, they tried to tamper or mess with it, and they even put me in a mental health hospital 8 months. 8 months based on fake allegations and reports by prison employees and prison officers. And this is another story and another case, and everyone participated in the tragedy that I was subject to is going to pay the price. So if you are one of those people, I promise you, even if you are participated with one word or one task or whatever, you are going to be digged out and you are going to be paying the price for what you have done to me. No matter what, It doesn't make any difference. When you harm someone or participating in harming someone or in a scenario or in a tragedy and cause harm to someone, you must pay the price. Not just financially, but also responsibility, liability, and punishment. Fair trial in the court of law. Let the court decide your fate. Let the court decide your fate. And I will never have any kind of guilt feeling regarding your family when you go to prison or behind bars. It's not my mistake. You put me in prison for 4 months for doing nothing, and you caused me use, abuse, and torture in the prison, and you put me 8 months in a mental health hospital for actually nothing. Although I actually never suffered from any mental health problems whatsoever, but also you did this deliberately based on fake reports from your manipulated cunts in the prison who did this and put these reports about me. And everyone is going to pay the price for everything they did to me. It's not just because I'm saying it, but this is justice. Justice is first case, initial case in the court of law to break down everything they used illegally as allegations on papers, and they did to me what they did to me. The first initial case, everyone gave a statement, report, or said anything about me in official papers, or even not official but was taken officially later, will be brought to the court of law, including my ex. Any kind of statements or allegations that was put on paper, whether by police officers, social service, or whatever, on her behalf, she will be brought to the court of law so the court can establish if she was the one who made these allegations or gave these statements against me. And when the court establishes if that's her, then she is liable for the punishment, because I'm gonna prove and I'm gonna give evidences that is all of this is bullshit. And any false witness and anyone will come to say or give witness or give testimonial about anything that is incorrect, I will prove them wrong, and I will prove that they are false witnesses, and they will pay the price. It's simple. I didn't commit any offense whatsoever, and I didn't do anything whatsoever. And if you say otherwise, that's because you are a false witness and you are making this up. And it's not only this. Every legal paper that was issued with any word on it against me, it will be challenged in the court of law, and my solicitors will be breaking it down in front of the court and bringing everyone, including my ex, questioning them and quizzing them about all of these statements and witnesses and all of this, and that will be broke down piece by piece. This is justice. Once we pass this, and the corrupted officers, prison employees, witnesses, individuals, social workers, all of this, these will be punished, and this case is done, then we move to the next cases, which I will explain later on. And just to give you an idea about what I experienced in the prison, I mean, in prison, just this is, and I gave this example, and I can give lots of other examples. I mean, the amount of times I was beaten up in prison for no reason, and I'm talking about beaten up, is unbelievable. I'm just going to give you an example that even till the moment I am asking myself why this prison officer did this to me. I don't know. I don't have any answer. Maybe you can answer. One time they got me out of the cell for no reason, and they were pretending that they were moving me to another cell, and literally they put me down on the floor, and 4 people were on top of me, and one of them was on my left arm with his left hand on my left wrist, and my arm was straight like this on the floor, and with his right hand on my left wrist, so his right hand here and his left hand here, and my arm straight like this, and I'm lying on the floor, and they are on top of me, and he was going up with his knee and body, and down with his kneecap on my elbow bone, my joint here. So my hand like this, and he was going down there with his kneecap with all of his weight for 5 minutes, trying to break my arm for no reason. I Till the moment, I don't know why this prison officer did this. However, it's simple. High authorities wanted this to happen, but how they convinced that officer or manipulated this officer to do so for no reason, I don't know. Anyway, guys, this is just one example. And I have lots of things that they did to me that you would never, ever believe. And all of this will be proven. And all of these people will be sent to jail for this misconduct, torture, and what they have done to me. Unless they are not alive any longer. Maybe? Coincidence? I don't know. Anyway, guys, if you want to support, that would be great. If you cannot support, please at least pass on the word. I will be in Bournemouth Square every single day for a couple of hours from 12 to 12:30 to 2:30, and on weekends I will try to stay longer, and I will be leafleting everywhere to cover the whole of Bournemouth. Then we'll be moving with the leaflets to another town and so on and protest. So please get in touch, please support. This is a 100% genuine case. Lots of people will be punished, and I promise you, lots of people in the authorities here in the UK in different departments, doesn't matter inferior or superior, will be pushed forward to be punished and to be fairly trial in the court of law for what they have done and so on. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to be supported from you as soon as possible. Thank you. Have a good evening.